Hey guys, how you all? My name is Atif and a very warm welcome to all of you. Recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Ukraine. Now, this makes the issue of Russia and Ukraine very important for the civil services examination. Today, we will be trying to cover some of the geographical aspects of the issue. Now, let us start with the basic map of the world where we will try and understand where the issue started. First, if you look at the map, this part of the map includes USA, Canada, Mexico, and this includes some of the countries of the Western Europe. After the World War II ended, the world was divided between the two powers, one led by the United States of America and other by the USSR. USSR, if you don't know, it includes Russia and some of the other associated countries. Now, after the World War, the two powers started to dominate the world and the USSR was pushing towards expansion. This led to the formation of an organization called North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or you can say it as NATO, NATO. Now, the main purpose of NATO was to safeguard its members, which included USA and some of the West European nations. That was the primary objective. But over the period of time, things started to change. USSR started to disintegrate and USA started to become powerful. So, the NATO started to increase in size and it started to go eastwards. And eventually, it has increased its membership. Today, if we look in 2024, this is the map of Europe in front of you. Now, look, the darkest color are the founding members. You can see there are a very few founding members of NATO. But over the period of time, other members started to join. And in 2024, I think almost entire Europe has joined NATO except a few countries. This is a cause of concern for Russia. Why? Because the zone between, if you look at the map, the zone between the West Europe and Russia acted as a buffer zone. It was a buffer zone between the two powers. Right now, we can see all the countries of NATO are right there, sharing borders with Russia. So, Russia has started to worry a bit, and this is one reason why Russia attacked Ukraine. You can see, if you look at the color here, yellow color means the country that have applied for joining NATO, and Ukraine is one of them. And Ukraine shares the border with Russia. This became a cause of concern for Russia because they have decided to protect their land borders, and this led to the war between Russia and Ukraine. This is one reason to defend their land borders. If you look at Sweden, it also joined NATO in 2024. Finland has already joined and Norway was the founding members. So, except for Belarus, all the other nations that are sharing borders in the European continent, they have started to join NATO and almost all of them have joined the NATO as of now, 2024, except for Belarus. Now, this was the one reason why Russia invaded Ukraine. Now, let's move to the second reason. This is the map of Russia. If you look at the Russia, it has abundance of natural resources. It has got crude oil, it has got natural gas, it has got a lot of minerals. But one problem with Russia is that it has little access in the international waters. Why? If you look at the north of Russia, you can see there's the Arctic Ocean. So it has access to ocean. Then why do we say that it has limited access? Because if you look at the images, these ports that lie along this ocean, they are frozen for the majority of the year. So Russia has limited access to, we can say, to warm waters, not to water but to warm waters. So they cannot facilitate the global trade as efficiently as they should be. If you look at the Black Sea here, they have some ports there as well. But again, the majority of the area is occupied by Ukraine. So this, we can say, is another reason why Russia invaded Ukraine. So these are the two reasons primarily responsible for the invasion. Now the question arises, why is USA and the other Western European nations supporting Ukraine? There has to be some reason. Firstly, if we look at this map, again, you can see how NATO has increased over the years. It started from a few countries and went to a lot of countries. So now we can say that USA and other nations are trying to go far east, and this has become a cause of concern for Russia. That is number one point. Number 2 point is that the climate change, that is also playing its role in the Russia-Ukraine issue. Because with the global rise in temperature, the North Pole, the ice has started to melt. Now, because the ice is melting, the ports here that were frozen now defreezing and are not as frozen as they were up until now. This has become a cause of concern for the global powers because this will provide Russia a lot of opportunity, a lot of resources and access to global waters. So that is why there is a very strong support to Ukraine, the weapons and many other things that are provided to Ukraine by the European nations and USA. So these are the two geographical reasons responsible for Ukraine and Russia conflict. Now, because the UPSC has a habit of asking questions from the places in NIVs, if you look at the paper in 2024 prelims, there was a question that was asked from North Sea, this region that I am marking here. And it was asked to tell the countries that share border here, that touch the North Sea. Now, this time it is a very good probability because of the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There is a very good probability that a question might come from Russia or Ukraine. So I have given you a list of the countries that share the borders with Russia and Ukraine. If you look at the Russia, the countries include Norway here. See, one more confusion most of the persons have here is that Norway lies on the far west side. After that is Sweden and Finland. Finland is clearly sharing the borders with Russia. That is visible, but Sweden is not sharing the border. Sweden is not sharing the border. So you might as well think that Norway lies on the west side of Sweden, and so it is very difficult for Norway to share the borders with Russia. But it does share its borders from the north. So don't make the mistake that Norway does not share. It shares its borders with Russia. Coming back to our borders, Norway shares its borders, Finland shares its borders, Estonia, Latvia, you have Lithuania, Poland, Belarus, Ukraine, Mongolia and North Korea. Well, these are on the Asian side. We are primarily focused on the European side. It has its water boundaries with Japan and United States. Well, most of you might have confusion because we see the map of the world. We don't look at the globe. If we look at the globe, we'll find that Russia and USA are very close to each other. So coming to Ukraine, again you have Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, Moldova, Russia and Belarus. These are some of the countries that you know, and these share the border with Black Sea as well. This region that I'm marking here, it is a Crimean Peninsula that Russia took from Ukraine in 2024. It is in the Black Sea. Again, you can see why. Because of the access to warm waters. If you think that it's closed from here, but there are the Strait of Bosphorus that is present here that gives access to the Black Sea, to Mediterranean Sea and eventually into the Atlantic Sea. So these are some of the geographical aspects of the issue. So if you want to take some key points from the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, these are some of the points. That is, this is for the prelims perspective mostly, that Narendra Modi became the first Prime Minister to visit Ukraine after their independence. And these are the 2 points that you can use for mains as well. The 3 shifts, what is the 3 key shifts that took place from the meeting, and Modi's visit to Moscow, and after a month or 2 he visited to Ukraine, thereby maintaining the balance between the two. So these are some of the things that I brought you for today. And if you have any kind of questions, any kind of problems, you can ask me in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer you. So thank you very much. Do like, subscribe, and goodbye.